Hello and welcome to episode 13 of the Sunny Views podcast, where today we're going to be reading some Am I the Bad Guy Reddit stories. Okay, so if you're not familiar, it's very popular on like Reels and TikTok that you'd get a radio station or a podcast and they would read out these Reddit stories from a subreddit called, well, Am I the Bad Guy? And we read the title, decide what we think, and then read the actual story and decide if we still agree with our original thoughts. So, should I go first?
Yeah, you start.
Okay. So, am I the bad guy for making a profit on party shopping because my friends never help?
Oh.
What do you think?
Party shopping.
Yeah, so I'm guessing they're buying party supplies, and then I guess they're charging their friends extra?
Oh, they're probably buying the supplies and then charging their friends to come to the party and then making profit.
Yeah, maybe something like that.
Okay.
Would that be a bad guy?
If their friends never help, then that's a bit unfair. But then sometimes if you're hosting, then you're choosing to host. But I'm going to go they're the bad guy. No, they're not the bad guy.
Not the bad
guy.
I think, yeah, because it says their friends aren't helping.
Yeah.
But what, do you think that's like never helping with money or never helping set up?
If it's never helping set up, then that's not such a problem.
Yeah.
Because if it's at your house, then like you can set it up and you might want it. Like you might not want something hung off a specific light or something.
Yeah.
But if it's not helping with money, then that's different.
Yeah, if it's not helping with money, then they're the bad guy. No, sorry, if they're not helping with money, then the person's the good guy.
Yeah.
But if they're not helping like set up, then I think
it's not fair.
It's like not fair to charge them. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so let me read it out. So, every time we have a party, whether it's for a birthday, New Year's, or even something like carnival, nobody wants to go shopping for supplies. It always ends up being me and the same two other people doing everything, buying food, drinks, decoration, whatever we need. Also, it is buying it. At first, I didn't mind because I genuinely care about making these events fun. But over time, I realised a few things. 1, nobody else volunteers to help with the shopping. If I don't do it, nothing gets done and the party ends up being poorly organised. 2, I always end up spending my own money up front and some people never pay me back. Even when I remind them, they just forget or act like it's not a big deal. 3, I never even buy anything for myself, yet I still end up covering costs for others. I'm getting really tired of it. I want to keep having these parties, but I don't want to be the only one constantly taking on the responsibilities and losing money. So this time, I'm really thinking about taking some money. Basically, I would buy everything as usual, but slightly overcharge when I ask people to pay me back, just enough to make up for all the times I've been left covering costs. I won't tell them, of course, but I feel like I have enough. Would I be the bad guy if I do this?
Oh, so he's not telling them, he's overcharging them. Okay, I think that could be a problem if they find out.
Yeah.
And then they'd be like, why didn't you tell us? Why didn't you just tell us? But then I feel like it seems he's been having a reoccurring problem of them just not caring.
Yeah, and even when he reminds them, they just don't care. So I think he's just got really bad friends.
Yeah, not the bad guy.
Yeah, I'm not the bad guy.
Not the bad guy.
Not the bad guy. Bad friends.
Yeah, bad friends. Bad friends. Not bad party host, bad friends. Okay.
Yeah.
My next one is, am I the bad guy for standing up against my bully?
No. Why would you be the bad guy for that?
Yeah, I'd say no too. Let's get into the story.
Oh, God.
Okay, so background information. My mum got married, had kids, got divorced, got married again, and then got divorced, and then went back with my biological dad. Anyway, my stepdad is now in jail, and he's no longer be in my life under any circumstances. Now the story. So,
Okay.
somehow my school found out that my stepdad got arrested. And this one girl, I feel like it'd be rude to share her name, so I'll just call her Alexis. So Alexis, when I came back to school, because I had to take some time off school to cope with my stepdad being arrested, said things like, oh, if your dad gets a divorce, you have nobody. Oh, you still have scars, because her stepdad used to injure her. And things like, at least I have a good home. But here's the thing. She doesn't even have a mum, just a dad. Her mum died in a crash with Alexis in the car when she was about 8 or 10 or something.
Oh my God.
Due to a drunk driver. So one day I said this, at least I have a mum. You know your dad drives, so what if someone crashes into him? She starts bawling and I continue, which I shouldn't have, but I did. How did it feel to know that you survived that crash and your mum didn't? I bet you have scars on your heart. And she tried to punch me. I think she might have gone for an uppercut, but I couldn't tell, it was going too fast. But I do karate.
Oh my goodness.
So I grabbed her fist and moved it, and I heard a snap. Then stopped when I could have actually gave her an uppercut, but I didn't. Then she started bawling more and she screamed so loud the teacher came and looked at her arm and then at me. Turns out that snap was a broken bone. Now I'm suspended but my mum fought for me. They tried to expel me at first, but now after negotiating with my mum, she only got me suspended for 5 days and Alexis got suspended for 5 weeks. And my mum says that she's proud of me for finally sticking up for myself during the car ride home. When I got home, my dad thinks I should have gotten grounded and now they're arguing if I should be at trouble at home or not, and my mum says no, but my dad said yes. So am I the bad guy for sticking up for myself, or did I go too far?
Definitely went too far. Okay, so not the bad guy for sticking up for yourself, but, well, they're not going to bully you again, so there's that, I guess. But, oh my God, that is insane, just to make fun of someone.
I know.
I think there's a lot of other ways they could have gone about it.
Yeah. Also it said she's 14.
14?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
When I was reading it, I was like, but I do karate. And I was like, oh no. No, because she didn't mean to break her arm. Apparently she was just trying to block the uppercut. And then I guess how would you just snap a bone? Like you
she does karate.
But you couldn't. She's like, yeah, but you couldn't have just like grabbed the fist and then broke the arm. Like you would have had to like.
She must be really strong. No, but she probably was like angry and then in her anger like snapped it somehow.
Like she put her hand up and she punched the hand and her hand was just so strong it just broke the
It just bounced up and snapped.
I think she went a bit too far. The principal standing up to a bully is obviously a good thing. Mm-hmm. And then she started the physical violence and then she was the one miraculously messed with someone that did karate. So she ended up with a broken bone. And then, but what do you think of her being suspended for 5 days and the other girl being suspended for 5 weeks?
Well, that's a bit unfair because
but I mean, originally she was going to get expelled.
Does it say how long the bullying went on?
No, it didn't. It just said since she came back to school, it had been like she's been saying like comments like that, and then when like she replied, then she tried to like punch her. Okay,
so because if it was just like a few comments, and getting 5 weeks compared to 5 days.
Yeah, but then she started the fight.
She did start the fight as well. I don't know, 5 weeks I think is a bit too much to suspend someone for that. Because also the writer was also like saying very cruel things, very mean stuff. But that's a difficult one.
I feel like I'm gonna say not the bad
guy, but
just because it wasn't back and forth. It was like she'd taken it for ages and then did something back. Yeah. And then as soon as she did, then she like tried to fight her.
Yeah, and she does kind of feel bad. I think she says maybe I went too far, doesn't she? Something like that. Yeah. So kind of the bad guy, but not really. Yeah,
I say what you did was bad, but the principle of why you did it's not the bad guy.
Yeah, like I can understand your reasoning.
Yeah.
Okay. Am I the bad guy for telling someone I just don't like them?
Not the bad guy.
Not the bad guy. Yeah, I still agree, not the bad guy, but also it depends how they say it, because if it's really mean, like, oh, I hate you, that's bad guy.
But sometimes I'd rather like, because you know, sometimes you just have to put up with people and you're just like, I'd just rather not. I just need to like get it over with and just, because otherwise you like slowly just stop being friends with them. Yeah. Or you can just say, just, like, look, I don't like you and I don't want to be friends with you.
Yeah, true.
And it's harsh, but sometimes it gets the job done, you know?
Yeah. And sometimes like you'll pretend to be friends with someone that you don't like and then you just begin to like hate them even more until you like actually cannot stand them.
Yeah. And then it's just like, and then it just all comes out at the end.
Yeah,
like,
it just all comes really out and it's really bad.
Angry.
Yeah. So maybe not the bad guy. We'll see how they say it. Okay. So for the last few years, I've been spending more and more time in a cool local community space that holds a lot of cool free events. They're using very cool and just generally helps the community a lot. It's awesome. I go in at least once a week for a crafting hangout, okay, that's a bit rude, like a stitch and B word, but for all crafts. It's been a real joy. I socialise best when my hands are busy. I enjoy the company of most of the regular attendees, but there's this one woman who comes often whom I do not care for. She bugs me. She cuts folks, corrects everyone, and is often overly pedantic. She's one of those millennials who still says adulting and stuff, but not a lot. It's just one of those situations where I really have no great reason to dislike her. She hasn't done anything wrong, because I'm just really annoyed by her, I guess.
Okay.
Well, over the year, I've dealt with this by being polite to her, never really cutting her out of conversations, and just not saying anything if she annoyed me. I treat her with respect, like I don't ignore her. I do tend to drift towards chatting with literally anyone else when I can do so without being rude, though. I guess I was polite enough that she couldn't tell I didn't like her because she started asking me to hang out. I always said something like, "That's nice, but no thanks." I never made excuses or pretended to be busy. I just said, "No thanks," in a kind but chill tone as I could. She didn't ever push, which just made me more aware of the fact that she's a decent person, just not my type. Well, last week, when she asked again, I said no, and she joked, "You're always so busy," and I kind of paused to think of what to say when she added, "It's almost like you don't want to hang out." At that point, it got real quiet and awkward, and I knew it had to happen eventually, so I said, "Well, I don't. I never said I was busy either. I always just said, no thanks." She looked upset and said, "Why not?" in a very hurt tone. "Oh, damn, okay. Listen, I know this sucks to hear, but you're just not my cup of tea, and that doesn't mean you're a bad person. You haven't done anything wrong or anything like that, you know?" And she goes, "You're always nice to me, though." So I say, "Yeah, you're a hard-working, smart person who always respects boundaries, and I think you're a good person, but not someone you like. Not someone I want to hang out." Oh my God, this is so really hard to read. It's all in one paragraph. Not someone I want to hang out with outside this space and events and stuff, but that's more of a me thing than a you thing. If somebody tells you they don't like chocolate, who do you judge for the weird person who doesn't like chocolate or the chocolate? That makes sense?
Yeah, kind of. I understand that.
I don't get that. And she got really quiet and nodded and didn't talk much. Some of the others reassured her that they liked her and enjoyed hanging out. After an hour of her being real quiet, I decided to go to give her some space, but she didn't come back this week. The others assured me that honesty was the best policy here, and that I wasn't mean in my tone, but now I'm worried I made this event unattendable for her. Was I the bad guy?
No, he was so polite with how he turned her down as well.
Yeah, I think it was a bit mean in the beginning, but then he came back and said,
Yeah.
"But you're a really good person, you're just not my kind of person."
Yeah.
I think that was really nice, yeah.
Not the bad guy. Actually, good guy.
Good guy, yeah. But I can understand her side as well. Like, it's obviously not very nice if someone says to you that they don't like you. But, you know, it has to come out. It's just the way it is.
The next one I have is, am I the bad guy for how I reacted to my friend's crush?
How did you react? It's going to be interesting. So, I guess this depends. To your friend's crush.
Yeah. So your friend has a crush on someone.
Okay, your friend has a crush on someone, and then you reacted. So I guess if it's like your brother, you might overreact.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's I don't know. I mean, there must be a backstory behind this crush.
Yeah.
Read the story.
Okay.
It's difficult to say.
So it says, "This is a long story." Okay. So this Reddit user said, "This is a long story and my grammar sucks. Sorry. Also, I'm 15 and really stupid. So please have some mercy. LOL." So basically, for context, I've been friends with this boy for a few weeks and we talk and call practically every day for hours on end. But the day before Valentine's Day, he tells me some girl asked for his Insta. I tease him and ask why he didn't give it to her, but he said he didn't because he likes someone else. I ask who it is, and he sort of panics and says he won't tell me. I say okay and back off, but he changes his mind and says he will before ultimately asking 3 different people if he should tell me who this crush is. So, what do you think so far?
It's going to be the main character,
So far, I was reading this, I'm like, obviously she's the crush, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
obviously she's the crush.
Okay.
And
So,
okay.
she then said, "Obviously, I'm confused about why it's so serious for him that he needs to consult from 3 to 5 other people, especially since I told him I won't get angry.
15.
I won't get angry or judge him no matter who he likes, and that I'll even offer to help set them up." While he's consulting other people, I jokingly message a group chat that one of his friends is in, asking to just tell me who he's talking about, since he's being so weird about it. For example, when I tried to let him go and change the subject, he brought it back up and asked me to guess. His friend starts pressuring me on if I like him or if I've ever liked him. And I say no because I'm a bit startled and that I'm assuming he likes someone else. 3 seconds after I do this, he texts me that one of his friends told him something. He doubles down on not telling me. I tried to back out, but he tells me it was a random girl who he doesn't have any classes with and doesn't know the name of, which was odd because he was expecting me to guess who she was. I admitted to him I only wanted to know because I was worried it was me, and he responded, "Yeah, that'd be gross."
Oh, it's so obviously her.
After this happened, he'd been distant and not talking to me. I apologized for making him uncomfortable twice and asked if we can go back to just being normal friends, but he's still being so distant, and I can't help but feel like I've ruined our friendship somehow. Maybe I shouldn't have asked his friends or just backed off and said never mind when he first said, never mind, and offered to tell me. I feel so guilty and bad about this.
And she doesn't mention that she's the crush.
She said she doesn't know. She's like,
Oh my
she's
God.
like, I don't know what I've done wrong. And then I looked at the comments, they're like, it's you. And then she's like, no, I don't. Yes, she's the bad guy. Because to me, it'd be so obvious. Like,
yeah.
the second someone asks me if I even have a crush, I'm like, why do you care?
Yeah. Yeah, there's something suspicious going on. I think it's so obvious.
So let's say one of my male friends are like, so, do you like anyone? Immediately in my head, I'm like, why do you want to know? But if, like, obviously, if one of my, like, friends asks me or one of my female friends, then that'd be normal. But if it's, like, a guy you've been talking to and on call for, like, the last few weeks and he says something, then obviously you're going to think, oh, duh, it's me.
Yeah.
And then when he's like...
should be at least a bit suspicious.
Yeah, I know, but she, like, was like, oh, I don't know, I did wrong.
But I don't think she's the bad guy.
I think she's the bad guy.
But if she doesn't like him, then...
Yeah, but it's like the way she was like, God, I hope it's not me.
Okay, well, that was quite mean.
When it's so obvious that it was her, like, why would he consult like 5 of his friends saying like, okay, should I tell her who my crush is? Like, why would they care unless it's her?
He should stop being weird about it and just like come out with it and just say
they're 15.
Yeah, I mean, I know they're 15, but like he shouldn't just be like, oh my God, guys, should I tell her? Should I tell her? It's just so like childish.
She tried to like not bring it up, and then he kept bringing it back up.
Okay, no, that is so childish. Oh my God.
He's like, wait, so you want to know who my crush is? I think she's the bad guy, just for being so blatantly like stupid and not realizing.
Yeah, I think bad guy for not realizing it and then being kind of rude about it, but also not the bad guy because she just doesn't like him and she does. Maybe she knows, but she doesn't want it to be her.
Like, oh, we're just good friends.
She's like, oh, I really don't want it to be me, so she's trying to act like
dumb.
She's
like, I'll even help set you up.
Yeah. No, I don't think she's a bad guy.
Oh, I'd say bad guy.
No.
Okay, fine.
Agree to disagree. Would I be the bad guy if I told my friend that her boyfriend still does drugs?
No.
No, you wouldn't be the bad guy.
Not the bad guy.
No. Okay, so I, 17-year-old female, have 2 friends, Emily and Nina, both 17 females. They've been in pretty long relationships with Stan, 19, and Chad, 20, male. So, okay, off the bat, Nina is 17 dating 20-year-old Chad.
Okay, that's not that bad.
Kinda is.
It's a bit weird, but it's not like, oh my God, it's not like she's
No, but that's like year 12, year 13 dating someone in their like third year of uni. Second or third.
Okay, carry on.
Emily and Stan have been together for 1.5 years and Nina and Chad for 2 years. Oh my God, so they started dating when he was 18 and she was 15. That's really bad.
That's a bit weird.
No, that's like year
me
13.
Dating in year 10 or 11.
15.
Yeah, year 10.
Year 10. Oh God, that is really bad. And the other one's not as bad. So that was like a 18-year-old and 16. That's like year 13. No, that's like year 13 and year 11.
That's not that bad though.
Yeah, I think it's maybe could work. Okay, this week Nina told us that she and Chad broke up and she wasn't really hung up about it because, and I quote, the love fizzled out and they were with each other only because they became a part of each other's routines. Now, I think I should mention that I don't like Chad and Stan at all. They are both drug addicts, treat their girlfriends very badly, and are super manipulative. Yesterday, Emily called me and told me that Nina and Chad got back together on the condition that Chad won't do drugs anymore. I got really disappointed because Nina has been miserable for the last 2 months of their relationship, and I finally thought that she was ready to find something better and be happy. I told Emily how I felt, she agreed with me, and we discussed what we could do, and hung up. 30 minutes later, Emily calls me again to tell me that Stan and Chad met up with each other, and Stan saw Chad doing drugs. Not sure what kind, but from what I could tell from Emily's reaction, they were hardcore. Emily told me not to tell Nina because that would mess up Stan and Chad's friendship, and Stan would be mad at her because she told me. Now my question is, should I tell Nina? I don't want her to stay with a drug addict, but I know if I tell her, Emily will be mad at me, and I could mess up her relationship. So would I be the bad guy if I told my friend that her boyfriend still does drugs?
No. I know it will mess up their friendship, but like if you're like the sole purpose you've got back together with someone is on a condition that he does that and he just doesn't even follow the condition, and that it's drugs, then yes, not the bad guy.
And also Stan would be a bad friend for not telling his girlfriend, because like
it's like selfish.
It's very selfish, yeah. Yeah, and it's probably better they break up because of how weird the aging ups are. Yeah.
Okay, my one is, am I the bad guy for not paying for my stepdad's surgery?
What? Okay,
maybe. I know this background. So the stepdad basically raised him. So it's like his,
it's basically his biological dad, then, and his stepdad can't afford it and he can afford it, then you're kind of the bad guy.
Yeah, you're the bad guy? Okay. Let me read the story.
No.
So, I, 22 male, told my stepdad, 47 male, I would not pay for his surgery due to how he treated me as a child. Now my whole mum's side of the family is saying I'm the bad guy, and I don't know where to go. For some background, my parents split up before I was born, and my dad didn't want anything to do with me at first. When I was 5, my mum, 41 female, was bringing me home a cool friend who was my future stepdad. I wasn't stupid, and I knew that they were dating, and apparently my behaviour plummeted. That was around the time that my stepdad started hitting me. If I talked back, I'd be spanked. If I tried telling my mother, he would cut me. I realised that I was stuck with him.
Jesus.
Then on my 10th birthday, they got married. They didn't even ask if it was okay. I had made plans with my uncle on my dad's side to go to a trampoline park. Oh, his dad and him are in contact again. He came back when he was like 5. I had always wanted to go to one, but I was forced to cancel. The one time I fought back, he cut a gaping wound on the back of my leg, which my mum found out, and she put me in therapy because she thought I had done it.
Oh my God.
Shortly after I was put in therapy, one of my friends helped me realise that I was bisexual and helped me get with another guy. When my stepdad found out, he grounded me, called me a lot of slurs, and threw me against the wall until the drywall started falling apart. And then I almost didn't leave my room for the next 6 years that I lived with them. So now my stepdad wants surgery to try and fix his brain because apparently he has been born with some neurological disorder I had no idea about, and my mum wants me to pay. She called me and said that from what she saw, we were always so close and we were almost father and son. I thought about telling her right then and there what he had done to me, but I chose not to. I refused to pay, and my mum asked why. I said that I wasn't able to pay such a high amount as of right then, but I would be able to help him in the near future, as that's what I was always told whenever I needed their help with anything. My mum made a verbal noise that sounded like agreement and hung up. My brother, let's call him John, 14 male, has been calling me non-stop asking to pay for his dad's surgery. John took away his father in every inch of which way, even his neurological disorder. John took it upon himself to be the worst sibling imaginable. When he turned 6, I had to deal with him. I feel like I'm rambling here, but there's just way too much to explain about my childhood. Anyway, last week I told John to stop calling me and that I just wanted to be left alone about this whole thing, and I would not be paying for my stepdad's surgery. That's got the whole extended family, and they're all taking my stepdad's side, saying that he raised me so I should help him. Side note, my stepdad made me not want to have kids because I'm afraid I'll end up like him, and I wouldn't wish that upon anyone. My dad's side of the family, however, knows about everything that's going on and just wants to watch the drama unfold. My dad is supporting me, as well as my uncle, saying that I'm in the right, but I don't know what to do. I need your guys' advice on how to proceed with this.
So absolutely not the bad guy.
Yeah, not the bad guy. But
oh my God.
I can see why the mum's side of the family are mad if they have no idea.
Yeah, but also, how does the mum not know?
I don't know.
Surely the mum would know about.
Well, I
something.
guess she believes the stepdad over her son.
I guess, but there's physical evidence.
Yeah, but then she thinks the physical evidence is something else, and then he even said that he wanted to tell her, but he's never told her.
True, but she must have some suspicion at least. And if the brother's the same way, okay, the stepdad might be able to hide it, but a little brother who's copying these kind of behaviours wouldn't be able to hide it as much, and then it's obvious that these behaviours came from somewhere.
Yeah, but maybe in their childhood, maybe the mum wasn't around and the dad was around much more, so they didn't see.
Maybe.
But I'd say not the bad guy for not paying, but then I would say that the only bad guy in this situation is the stepdad. Because if the mum doesn't know and the dad side of the family is supporting him and the brother's just an evil little brother, then not the bad guy for not paying. No,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, not the bad guy for not
the
paying.
bad guy. Definitely not the bad guy.
But then I can sympathise with his, like, mum, why they're mad if they don't know. Because that would be like, why?
No, I think he should just tell them.
Yeah. Because if, like,
yeah.
someone raised you and you know they've been, like, really mean to you the whole time, but no one else knows, and you're suddenly like, no, I'm not going to, like, save their life, then everyone would be like, what? Why?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Am I the bad guy for not inviting my sister's fiance and his kids to our wedding?
Okay, kids, I can understand why you wouldn't want to invite them to a wedding, because sometimes there's a lot of, like, no kid weddings and stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, sister's fiance, that might be a bit bad guy, but I don't know what he's like.
Yeah. Okay. My fiance, male 27, and I, female 27, are planning a small wedding. We only invited immediate family and close friends, so we can afford to pay for the wedding ourselves. We also said that guests can only bring a +1 if they've been dating for at least a year, because we can't afford to pay for someone they barely know. Here's the issue. My sister is 25 and started dating John in November. He's 43 and has 2 teenagers. 3 weeks ago, they announced they were engaged. So they started dating in November and they're engaged. And this came out yesterday. So I've tried talking to her in a few times about how he's too old for her and she's way too young to be a stepmom to 2 teens, but she told me to mind my own business and that she loves him. For our wedding, I only invited my sister. She called and asked why John and his kids weren't invited. I told her it's because I barely know them and they haven't even been dating for a year. She said John is family now and that his kids will be my niece and nephews, so it's different. I told her I can't afford to pay for 3 extra guests who are basically strangers to us. Now she's mad and says she won't come either. My parents get where I'm coming from, but they also want my sister at the wedding. My dad even offered to cover the cost of John and the kids. But the thing is, I just don't want them there. I feel uncomfortable inviting people I don't know to my wedding. Am I being a stubborn bad guy? Oh yeah, and P.S. we only have 24 guests in total. She wants to add 3 strangers to it now.
Okay, the kids I can understand, because, like, having some random, like, kids that are not even at all blood related to you, and, like, you've only known them, like, maybe some of the family probably haven't even met them, and then it's like also they're younger and they're teenagers, so I don't know how much they're gonna enjoy a wedding full of people they don't know either. And then the fiance, I think, should be invited.
Really? I don't think so. Because it's a weird age gap. They've only been dating for 3 months.
Yeah, okay, the age gap.
There must be something. No, but there must be something going on. Like 3 months, they're already engaged, and the age gap. It's creepy.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, but I don't know. I think the fiance should be invited because, like, I don't know, the age gap and whether they've known each other, they're like going to get married.
Yeah, I guess.
So he is going to be, like, legally part of their family. And then I think, especially if they're going to get married and they don't really know him, they should really get to know him.
True.
So I think they should invite him, but not the kids.
But what do you think about the dad paying for them?
The dad paying for them, I don't think it's the principle so much of the money as well. Like, you don't want to have your wedding, like, with strangers.
You don't want to pay for strangers.
Yeah, and then you might feel, like, obligated to, like, talk to them and socialise with them when you don't even know them.
Yeah,
and it's just a bit weird. Like, it also might feel like they're kind of, like, you know, if you're like a friend group and then there's just someone who's outside the friend group, and like you might like them, but it's just a bit awkward when they will, like, come and be with all you guys, because then you feel like, okay, I need to, like, go speak to them or, like, stuff. Yeah. So just be, like, a bit more uncomfortable. So I'd say kind of the bad guy for not inviting the fiance.
Yeah, like, I understand their point of view, but because also it's their wedding, they want to make it special, but maybe they should invite the fiance. Yeah, like the kids, no, but the fiance,
yeah. Okay, I agree.
Yeah.
My next one is, am I the bad guy for not hanging up my coat in the right spot?
I don't know. Wait, is this like primary school? You've got a peg. Okay. So,
yeah, you've got a peg.
Okay, so I guess kind of the bad... Not really. I don't know, if it's like a mistake, you accidentally put it on the wrong peg, then not the bad guy at all, it's just an accident.
No, this is in their house. They have pegs in their house.
Oh, in their house, they have pegs. No, not the bad guy for hanging up on the wrong peg. But in their house, they just have mum pegs, dad peg.
Yeah, they have, like, their own pegs.
I mean, if their pegs are full, then it's fine if they put another one. This is like a really weird one. Just read the story.
Okay. So the user said, I feel so petty after reading other things on this sub, but I need an outsider opinion. I, 14 female, am 5'2", and I'm only an inch shorter than my mum, who's 34 female. I've always used the coat rack that I got as a Christmas present when I was 7, and it was set up at a height so that it was comfortable for me at the time. Now I've grown a bit, and my mum wants me to use the adult coat rack. That is just barely in my reach. She says, now that you're older, you should start using it. Plus, your brother, who's 6 male, needs the space for his coats. I should probably mention now that the coat rack has 2 hooks, which worked fine up until now, apparently. I'd always lived with hanging up my raincoat, snow pants, and coat on all the same hook, which is even more convenient because it's at my shoulder level now, which is more comfortable than getting on my tiptoes and almost getting flat against the wall to reach the hooks on the higher one. I really just want an outsider opinion. I left my coat on the hook that I normally used before I went to my dad's house. And when I came back, I found my coat hanging out of the trash can with a whole lot of nasties on it.
Oh my God.
I brought it inside, washed it off, and went to hang it up again. And then I realised that my mum had moved my brother's snow pants onto the hook that I used. I moved them back on my brother's hook and placed my coat on my hook. I looked for my snow pants and raincoat, but I could not find them anywhere. I was really disappointed because I really enjoyed snowboarding down a hill in the park, so I couldn't go. My mum got home from work shortly after and asked me what the heck I thought I was doing using my brother's hook. I told her that I can't comfortably reach the adult hook, so she didn't take that well to this. She grounded me, took my phone, which is my dad's phone, and my Oculus, also my dad's. It was agreed when my dad gave them to me that they would not be damaged in any way and if they were taken away from me. So, when my mum calmed down and gave them back to me, the lenses on my Oculus were fully shattered. I was very angry.
Oh my God, and they're expensive as well.
Yeah, this would have been yesterday, and I haven't told my dad, nor talked to my mum since. My brother's wondering why I stopped playing with him, and I snapped at him. I felt bad for it since I was just taking my anger directed to him, to my mum out on him. Which he didn't deserve. I want some advice on what to do. Should I try and talk to my mum? Should I talk to my dad first? I know all of this could have been avoided if I just listened to my mum at first. Now I'm lost.
The mum is so overreacting.
With the coat hook.
It's just a coat hook. It's not that deep.
Yeah, and also she got the coat hook as a present when she was 7 and has been using it ever since. And now it's only become a problem. And like she says, the coat hook is like shoulder level, so it's like comfortable for her. And if there's 2 hooks, and she said she only uses one of them to put everything on it because it's easier, then why can't her brother just use the other one?
Yeah.
Or what's her brother been using?
Like, it seems like the brother's been using the same thing the whole time.
Yeah, so...
But, like, to damage expensive property over a coat hook is the biggest overreaction of the century.
I know. Be like, how dare you not use the right coat hook? And then takes, like, her dad's stuff, and then... Or, like, just puts it in the bin.
Yeah.
Like, she puts her coat in the wrong thing, and then, like, tries to ruin the coat.
Oh my goodness, this is
the mum's
crazy.
The bad guy.
Mum's very, very bad guy.
Yeah.
This person's doing nothing wrong, and it's not even just like a little bit petty that she just makes some rude comments at her.
Yeah.
She's just full on destroying her stuff.
She's not even like, oh, I think you should try using the adult hook, or like give her the option, but she's like, you will use the adult hook and your brother will take your hook.
Yeah, and also if she's short, why is the adult hook so high up?
I know. Just like put it down.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like a...
I don't know if maybe it's like on the wall, but then you can still just take it off and put it down.
Yeah.
Or I'm not, maybe it's like built in. I don't know, but like there's definitely like other solutions than just destroying your child's stuff and like throwing their coat in the bin.
Or just get like another coat hook.
Yeah.
They're like so cheap on like just the ones you like nail onto the wall.
Yeah.
Or just like a peg or...
Yeah, it's really like it's not that deep.
No, it's not. If you can have an Oculus, I'm sure you can have
a coat
peg.
Yeah, and even if you can't afford it, you can just get like a piece of metal from your guy, like from somewhere, and just bend it a little bit to make a peg out of it.
I know. So not the bad guy.
Definitely not the bad guy. So I think we're gonna end it there. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, guys, for listening. And make sure to comment down below what you think. Do you agree with us? Are these guys the bad guys or the good guys? Let us know. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.